Hi guys, today I'm going to discuss about the securing the network parameter of a community bank. The investment for perimeter protection and data detection mechanisms can be a unique challenge with the budget of a smaller community banks. The purpose is to raise awareness of the external threats, present a confidential customer information held on the private network of community banks, and recommending technologies to design to protect the perimeter of the network. Protecting a private network from attacks and identifying possible breaches to a bank's private network. To establish a secure network, a defense in-depth strategy where security measures are placed in many layers that create an entire network from the end user to the internet. Here, a private network will be at risk from many threats because of the need to establish connection to other network, especially the internet. Understanding these threats present to a private network is important to properly design the perimeter protection for community banks. In order to properly design perimeter protection for a private network, it is necessary to learn about the types of threats present on and the damage that can be caused. Internet attacks network reconnaissance is the act of scanning a network for available information. This is commonly referred to as a network scanning. IP address or a range of IP address to find ports that are available and try to gather useful information such as the service provided, the operating system used, or the type of device. With these, anyone connected to a WAP can sniff all the traffic passing through the accessing point. Sniffing can allow anyone to see plain text, login credentials, confidential information transferred over the network from programs like Telnet, FTP. Sniffing from a computer will reveal only that computer's network traffic and any broadcast traffic. A DOS attack will commonly be accompanied with extortion for money to stop the attack. For community banks, a DOS attack is not a grave threat as their customers can visit branches and ATMs to perform the same task as today online. However, management should keep in mind the impact a can have on customers when an outage of internet service occurs. Although a DOS attack is not a serious threat to community banks, protecting the computer's data is vital to these banks, and criminals have many ways to get at this data. The other type of attack is alternative attacks. A computer virus is not only the type of malware programs. Trojans, worms, backdoors, rootkits, keyloggers, screen cappers, adware, and dialers are among the other type of malwares. Because malware attacks have been on the rise, antivirus vendors have begun to include anti-malware features into their antivirus products. Most malware is designed to gather information from criminals. Criminals are interested in confidential information, mainly personal identifiable information of customers such as social security number, credit card numbers, and bank account numbers. The information alone can use a customer's credit to be ruined, but combined with the customer's public information such as their full name, address, and criminal can take over their identity. Malware program can also discover credentials that can aid a criminal in obtaining access to the confidential information. Malicious websites are set up by criminals to steal username and password credential using phishing. The ingenuity of criminals and number of vulnerabilities found in the perimeter suggests this trend will continue for some time. As new attacks are launched, businesses large and small have to respond. These responses have allowed IT security professionals to establish the best practices to be used to keep a private network as secure as possible. Basic components. In these basic components, the ISP will establish a connection between the internet and a company's private network. This is where the network perimeter layer will be built. The connection will be established from the ISP to a company's router, which serves a central point where data is transferred between the networks. ISP uses a variety of medium to connect to this internet gateway router, other than known as the gateway. A satellite modem transmits a wireless signal between a dish connected to the customer's facility to a satellite in orbit around the Earth back to a dish connected to the ISP's facility. A wireless modem can be used with an ISP that provides an internet connection using communication tower that emits the radio signals. Wireless connections can have a variety of speeds depending upon the wireless protocols in use and the distance between the tower and the modem. Here, the fiber optic line connects directly to the gateway and provides the greatest connection speeds. And the gateway router directs the network traffic to and from modems so internal hosts can communicate over the internet. The router accomplishes this task by using network address translation NAT. The NAT permits all internet traffic to flow through a single router from many hosts on a private network. This is accomplished by transposing the public IP address given by the ISP into the source field in the header of all data packets leaving. We are going to discuss about the designing the network parameter here. To protect a private network is key for implementing the perimeter security. The choices for the devices will depend on many factors for each company, but the essential devices that must be included to accomplish this task are a router and a firewall. The router will serve as the first line of defense, and the firewall will act as the traffic cop, allowing only the desired network traffic. And IDS or IPS should be included in a parameter to detect and stop any malicious activity on a private network. The overall network parameter complexity will depend on the services provided over the internet. A simple network where no internet services are provided to customers will be the easiest to defend. Router and firewall separate the internet from a private network. The IDS or IPS monitors all the traffic, and the VPN provides remote accesses, all of which provide the necessary defense in depth features for the parameter. Emerging technologies. Innovations for perimeter technology has been mostly stagnant until recently. As processor speedups increased, products have been able to increase the features offered in these appliances. Several technologies have emerged that may change how confidential information is protected on a private network. Some of these new technologies are complicated to implement and have exceedingly high costs. Before choosing any vendor to deploy a new solution, always perform proper due diligence by inquiring about the experience other companies have with the particular solutions. In emerging technologies, we have like data loss prevention, unified management, and network access control. Coming to the data loss prevention is a technology designed to prevent a costly and public confidential customer data breach. DLP solutions aim to prevent confidential information from escaping a private network. Not only data loss prevention solutions create a clear picture of how confidential information is dispersed on a network and where it travels, it will also require employees with your company's security policies through notifications and denial of operations. Unified threat management. Advanced processors have allowed new appliances to perform more checks on the traffic flowing through the parameter without a performance loss in the bandwidth. Unified threat management is the name of the next generation firewalls. These standalone appliances combine many security features into a single device. UTM combines firewalls, IDS or IPS, VPN, email, and web filtering appliances. Advanced features are also found in UTM appliances. Antivirus and anti-malware scanning has been limited to host computers until UTM came along. These can include filtering technology for several types of network traffic, including web, instant messaging, and email. This technology does create a single point of failure which can be mitigated by redundant internet connections and failover UTM devices. Coming to the network access control, Cisco and Microsoft have developed technologies to extend the parameter around workstation which establish connections to a private network. This is accomplished by determining the health of the host when they connect to the network and enforcing security requirements on them before access is permitted to resources on a private network. Hereby, I want to conclude that the internet is a beneficial resource for community banks that bring risk with it, but these risks are manageable with solutions that are affordable. The solution presented are industry best practices that IT security professionals use to provide any network with perimeter protection. Without these protections, the risk of confidential information being compromised is very high. The consequences can impact the reputation and bottom line of a bank.